The authentic collaborative relationship Constantia Insurance has with its business partners are the very foundation of their success. And because Constantia believes that their partner success is their success, they strive to work together to co-create solutions and ensure that their partnerships thrive and deliver shared, sustainable value for all. One of the partners we are referring to is Terra Marine, a specialist marine division of Osprey underwriting managers, who teamed up with Constantia Insurance Company Limited in June 2021. Today, I am talking to Colin Moodley, MD at Terra Marine. Colin, it's great to connect.
Good morning, Rianet. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
So before we talk about Terra Marine, please share your journey and experience in the industry with us.
Yes, so my journey, marine journey, started at Itana Insurance Company in 2010. I started in the marine underwriting division as a broker consultant. I must say, learning marine was fun, but also very challenging at the time. But once you start to understand all the building blocks that make up the marine insurance, you really start to appreciate the unique environment that you are in. So during the time at Titana, we built a great team around us, and we built a great marine business. We were then brought into the Hollard Group, and became part of Hollard, became Hollard Marine. By this time, I had moved into the business development space, and Hollard was a fantastic company because they had a great culture. I really enjoyed working with the team. I grew a lot as an individual and as a leader. But after 10 years, I decided to try something different, and to try to get involved into the UMA space, which is the underwriting management space. And that's how Terra Marine, the idea of Terra Marine started. So that's my small little journey into the marine world, leading me up to Terra Marine.
Was it tough to start a UMA? I see the UMA is a fairly new UMA. So was it a tough journey for you, or do you believe that your experience helped you?
Yes, I believe that going through Hollard, going through the in terms of the experiences, in terms of being led and mentored by the right people, all of those building blocks played an important role in me, being able to make the decision to say, you know what, maybe I can try something on my own. Obviously with support, with a support team around me. But definitely having the confidence to do that definitely came from my experience with Hollard.
When you made that final decision to start the UMA, was it nerve-wracking for you?
It was very nerve-wracking because our start date was March 2020, and that's when the chaos in terms of COVID and everything
Your
started
timing was
happening.
not good.
Yes, yes, and we obviously didn't anticipate any of the how COVID impacted our industry, and we'll go through that later in one of the
Yeah.
questions. But we had to start because prior to that we were busy with setting up the structure and everything. And once you make the decision that you are going to do it, there's no turning back. You have to, put your head down and decide that this is what you want to do. You got to make the decisions for the right reasons. My decision was made in terms of having a long-term view of where I'd like to be, what I want to be. So yes, the start was difficult. But now, in hindsight, after being already 2 years into it, the starting is always difficult in this type of environment. But now, if I look back, everybody, I always tell everybody I should have started 2 years earlier, because it's been a roller coaster, but it's been very, very exciting.
Well, that's up to you
Thank
for
you.
starting that UMA. So I see that Terra Marine is a fairly new company, as we said. So I'm just going to rehash that question because I've asked you quite a few questions. So Colin, tell us a little bit more about Terra Marine, its very short history and what you really specifically specialize in.
Yeah, so we're part of a group. We're part of the Osprey Underwriting Managers Group. Within the group, there's three divisions, marine being one of them, trucking being the other division, and specie is a division that insures gold, diamonds, cash in transits, vaults, and all quite high value material. So the idea of the group was to basically have an interconnecting product offering where if you look at a mine that has gold and diamonds, you'd need a truck to transport that. You'll need a marine element in terms of the movement of the goods, and then you got the specie element covering the high value stuff. So that was the business concept when the group was started, and that's how I was brought in to run my own marine division, with having my own name and my own autonomy in how I wanted to work. So marine insurance in particular, to Terra Marine, we insure cargo. We are cargo underwriters. And basically, marine insurance covers physical loss and damage to your goods, whether it's moved by sea, whether it's moved by air, whether it's moved by road or rail. And at Terra Marine, we have three products. We cover import exports. We cover a stock throughput, which has an element of stock while the client is either doing an import export policy, and we have a transporter's insurance. So we've kept it very niche. We've kept it very simple because there are other classes in marine insurance. There's a liability class and there's a hull class. But we felt, with our experiences coming from Hollard, that we were very comfortable in terms of technically being able to underwrite marine, being able to offer service in terms of just the marine cargo line of business. And that's why at Terra Marine, we only do marine cargo insurance.
Does that not limit you when a client comes to you, when a broker comes to you with a client? Is there cases where they would only need cargo, or is liability and the rest not automatically sort of part of it?
So on the cargo side, a client would only need the cargo insurance cover. Marine's liabilities are very specialist liabilities. So it's like your charter's liability where you're chartering a vessel, as your stevedores or your port liabilities. So it's not always attached to your cargo policy. Similar to hull. Hull is the actual vessel that's moving, whether it's commercial or your jet skis. So the cargo section of marine insurance is very specific to cargo and the movement of cargo. So it doesn't really limit us. I think by having this approach, it kind of gives us a little bit of a niche in terms of being able to focus just on one part of the business and not get distracted in everything else that happens around us. So we're very focused on just the marine cargo aspect of the business.
Okay. One step back, is Osprey Underwriting Managers also partners of Constantia, or is it only Terra Marine?
It's only Terra Marine. So Osprey they've spread their risk in terms of their financial paper. So they've basically they use another insurance license for the other two lines, and for marine we've partnered with Constantia.
Okay, cool. Why did you partner with Constantia Insurance, and how important do you believe is the right partnership, especially in our industry?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Rianet. I think Constantia's model is all about enabling their partners to grow and to focus on niche business. So the fit for us was very, very easy. We wanted to be associated with an organization that valued their partners and also valued niche businesses. This relationship allows Terra Marine to have full autonomy in its business, but we still have a direct line to Constantia's executive management team, We have a direct line to their marketing team. And this has helped us and enabled us to grow our business moving forward. So when you have an insurer like Constantia focusing on partners that are niche, and we have a long-term goal plan with Constantia, it makes the whole relationship much more easy, and that's why the partnership works so well.
I agree with you. They are really, really doing a good job with their whole partnership model. And we spoke about your timing a little bit earlier.
Yes.
What was the specific risk pertaining to this market segment as we went into the pandemic? And maybe you can specifically focus on the challenges for South Africa and maybe the rest of Africa.
Yeah, so that gave me a lot of gray hairs in the last 2 years. Obviously, starting during the pandemic, the pandemic obviously had a massive impact in the global supply chain of goods and services. So with the various, it restricted the movement of cargo, with the various lockdowns, with movement restrictions, with border restrictions, with just import and export volumes declining, with economies just, in South Africa, Africa, and the world just slowing down. And then obviously you see that when cargo stops moving, the demand for marine cargo insurance stops.
Yeah.
So we insuring the supply chain that has now been directly impacted by COVID, and in turn has a direct impact on our business. So that was some of the challenges. And then every level, when we went from level 5 to 4, it just hampered us and slowed us down in terms of being able to offer insurance to everyone. I think we only had access to essential services in terms of what was allowed to move. So it really impacted a business that relies a lot on movement and relies a lot on the global, the global supply chain to be moving. So when that stalled, our business, and not only us, I think the whole marine market in terms of business stalled. But I think the challenge is now for us or for the economies and for South Africa and for Africa to get back, to get back to growing, for businesses to start operating at full capacity. And by that happening, you will see the trend starting to, you'll see an upward trend in the request for marine insurance,
Yeah, I was just, we spoke about the risks. So my next question was going to be what are the opportunities that exist for providers operating in your space?
Yeah, so that was quite an interesting question. We always hear that whenever there's a crisis, there's opportunities, but it was very difficult to find opportunities after the 2 years of COVID. But I must say, I think what we've started to see in our environment, we're starting to see a big shift in companies in how they operate, and starting to innovate, starting to improve their efficiencies and processes. A lot more online businesses starting to take off, a lot more delivery, apps are starting to be created. Companies obviously with saving on office costs, allowing certain key individuals to be working from home. And this has created, it's given them the ability and the agility to start working smarter and save on costs. We also see an opportunity in terms of there's been a lot more activity post-COVID in terms of the broker market, in terms of clients requesting insurance. And I think there's been a lot of clients requesting more specialist type of insurance, to ensure that they're covered for certain problems that, that might come up. So I think this plays well in terms of our marine aspects, because the more clients are looking for specialist insurance, marine being one of them, I think there's be a massive opportunity for us to start growing as the economy, starts growing.
Is this a very specialized area that you're operating in terms of the amount of brokers that you deal with? Do you as a broker need to be fairly clued up with marine? and its challenges, or is that a fairly easy risk for brokers? And I suppose that's where you come in because you've got the expertise to handle that.
Yes. So marine is very specialized. It is a very specialized area, and not many brokers operate in that space. The brokers that do operate in marine I have done it for a period of time and are qualified in how they do it. But and the big thing is that the industry is constantly changing, and that is why it is so important to understand and keep up to date with what's happening in the marine world. But in saying that, there's always opportunities for new brokers coming into the market. We facilitate a lot of training with getting new brokers to understand marine. So yes, it's difficult on one end, but if a broker is interested and they want to learn marine, we offer that service to assist them through that process. And then I always say, once they get hooked on marine, there's no turning back. That becomes, it's very hard to leave marine when you learn how it works. So yeah, so yes, it is difficult, but uh, I believe any broker that's interested or has a client base, is can learn marine.
Yeah, I can imagine that must be very interesting. Colin, you have competition in the market. What differentiates you from the rest?
Yeah. So okay. So in marine, the policies and the covers are very similar. So there's not a lot of big insurers or insurers that can offer something that the market doesn't offer. So what differentiates us is the fact that we believe that every client is different and every client requires a solution and a product that suits their business needs. So what we do at Terra Marine is we go out of our way to learn the client's operation. We go out of our way to find solutions to cater for the client's needs. And we do this with a close partnership by working with our brokers. And we also feel that one of our differences in the market is that we get involved in risk management more actively than some of our competitors. So we believe that risk management is not only a once in a year activity. We believe that it's actually a daily activity in terms of getting the clients to understand their risk and what's out there. So that, I think, separates us from the market, is getting to know the business, getting to know the operations, and then getting all our facts in order before we make a decision in terms of marine underwriting.
It's really about service excellence, clearly. How
Yes.
big is your team, Colin?
We have a team of 4, and hopefully by the end of the year, we will grow to about 6. Obviously during the lockdowns, we were restricted in terms of being active in the market. We couldn't go to certain brokers. So now that those restrictions are over, we'll see. We'll be a lot more active, and we'll be looking for people that will get us into the door of brokers and new opportunities. So we're quite excited about the next couple of years.
Which leads me to the last question. Any message to our readers and viewers, which is obviously also the people you want to speak to, the brokers?
So yes, it is great to be part of an industry that is so important to global trade, and that is why insurance is so exciting. Marine insurance is so exciting for us, and at Terra Marine, we love what we do, and we are proud to play our role in this industry. So one of our goals, and for brokers that are out there listening, is that we want to be the best marine insurer in the country, and we do this by bringing on the best people and also delivering for our brokers the best service to their clients. And that's my message to the brokers.
Thank you very much, Colin. It was great to catch up, and all the best with your fairly new venture.
Thank you, Rianet. Thank you. I appreciate your time and the opportunity.